Hello everybody, good morning. Let me put this in here for a second before I drive off. Okay, so I was just watching a video by Christian Garbage Man, right? Cool channel, I love watching his channel. He's got some good stuff on there. You gotta watch it, go check it out yourself. But this latest video that I saw was about 16 hours ago, whatever it was. From probably when I post this video, it'll be about 20 hours from now. But anyway, so I was watching a video and he's talking about how we should talk to other people and conversate with other people. And you don't have to watch his video to understand what he's exactly talking about, right? But it made sense, and I understand what he was saying, and I can relate to this because I have a story that I just want to add to this. So in his video, he was talking about how a lot of times he wouldn't talk to people, and not because he didn't like people, he just didn't want to talk to them. Now he's changed, and before he didn't want to talk to people. He would just like kind of give them the cold shoulder or whatever, right? But I was thinking about this at work. This happened a couple of times actually. So every morning I go to work, go to my job, and we go to the counter and they give us our supplies. We get our Leo that we scan packages and everything like that, a printer and all that. Get the equipment, right? So every morning I go into work and there would be the guy at the counter, and I would just strike up a conversation with him. I would say, "Hi, good morning. How was your weekend?" Or if the weekend was coming up, I'd say, "You have any plans for the weekend?" And we would just talk to each other, and he would tell me his thing. I know he likes fishing and he likes to boat. He's got a cabin upstate New York, and he goes hunting. He likes hunting bear and deer and all that stuff. So I got to know him just every other day. Not every day, probably every other day. We'd just strike up a conversation because I would get there a couple minutes early, and we just talk to each other. And he would ask me how my day was going, how my week, same thing. We'd converse back and forward to each other. And this, has been going on for a long time. So as you're doing this, you get to know each other better. You get to feel more connected. You feel like you have some kind of like camaraderie. We're not just workers. We're also talking to each other as human beings and getting to know each other. And he's excited to tell me about what he did the past weekend, whether it was hunting or how he caught how a bear came up where his post was, where he was hunting and was trying to grab at him and stuff like that. So he would tell me stories. And when he goes fishing with his friends, he's got doctor friends, they got a boat and they would go fishing together in the ocean or whatever. So he would tell me all these stories. So we'd go back and forward. I would tell him my stories about my kids and all this and that. So anyway, to make a long story shorter, because it shouldn't be that long. So we get to connect to each other. We talk to each other. So a couple of times this has happened where I would come in, he'd give me my Leo and the equipment that I need, and the battery would be low. Usually it's supposed to be, usually it's good to be around 90 something percent, right? But sometimes I get a Leo where it's like 40 or 50%. You can't go out with it that low, because even when we have charging stations that we do in our trucks, sometimes they don't even work. Sometimes you could put them in there and it won't even work throughout the day. So you're stuck. If you have a 40%, chances are you're going to need somebody to bring you out a battery, or you'd have to drive in to get one during your lunch and come back out, or whatever you want to do, right? Some people do it during lunch. Some people could do it while you're working, or whatever the case may be. So most of the time I don't even have to say anything. He'll check my battery. He'll see that it's low, and he'll switch the battery up and give me a new battery, right? So no issues. I'm happy. I'm thankful that he does that, and it's cool, right? Now I know some other people come in, they don't talk to him. They don't ask him how his day is. They don't converse with him. They don't even spend, in a minute to say, "Hi, how you doing?" They're just like standing at the counter waiting for their equipment to come, and that's it. So I've noticed this happen a couple of times already while I'm, when I'm done, I'm walking away or whatever, or before I'm getting there, the person would be like, "Oh, my battery's low. Can I get a new battery?" And he would like, "Oh, you have to ask your manager. We're not allowed to give a battery. We're not allowed to switch batteries or give batteries. You have to ask your manager for that." So the person would get aggravated. So I just noticed, like, I've never done that. I've never had to go and ask my manager for the battery. I've never had to like go through that whole process. I just don't even, half of the time I don't even sell it. He just looks at my Leo, checks it, switches the battery, gives it to me, and tells me like, "Oh, I gave you a new battery. The battery is low." I'm like, "Oh, cool, thank you." And I just thought that he was doing this for everybody. I thought this was just like him doing, you know, his job was supposed to be, to just make sure everybody got a brand new battery and good battery and is charged and all that. But it wasn't. He wasn't supposed to do that. His job, he's supposed to actually make sure the batteries are there and they're not just given out randomly to anybody because they lose the batteries, they hide the batteries. So he was doing this because we have a connection, we have a bond, we talk to each other. And that little brief conversations that you have with people makes a big difference in their lives, because they probably look forward to telling you about how their weekend was, or they look forward to telling you how next weekend's plans are going to be, and they're going hunting and they're going fishing, or they're doing something with their family. They look forward to that interaction of just us being human beings and talking to each other, right? So I love this video, Christian Garbage Man. Go check it out. Go check his channel out. And more importantly, I love what he was talking about, how he used to be that way too. He used to just give cold shoulders and not really talk to people, be kind of like an introvert or whatever, and not just talk to people like that, right? And now he's changing, and now you can watch this video. And it was a really important video. I think you should all check it out. But it just made me realize that one specific thing in my life where I've noticed, and it's been, you know, there's other things that I can probably go on. I could probably think about a couple of them. But I know that one happened recently, and it's just in my mind, so I just wanted to put that out there. But if you just take the time to get to know people in your life, you never know. That one little brief conversation of you talking to them and them talking to you makes a world of difference in their lives. So you don't have to do anything big to make an impact on other people. You could do something as small as just 2 or 3 minutes a day, asking them how they're doing, what their plans were, what their plans are, how's the day, how are they feeling. And as human beings, we all need that. And I think that it's good to do that, especially as God's people. We should talk to each other. We should communicate to each other. We should be spiritual and just get to know each other's feelings and thoughts and personalities and what they're going through and what you're going through. It's just good for everybody. So I appreciate that video. Christian Garbage Man, great video. I loved it. And it just made me want to put this out there too as well. And I love y'all. I'll hit you in the next video, probably later on. I got something going on. But I think I posted one this morning. Check it out too. It's just a long video of me talking. Nothing really important. You don't have to watch it if you want to. But it's just me hanging out talking to you guys. I love y'all. Peace.